Hi, I'm James Lott Jr., the Super Organizer, and the first of the year for me. I'm sorry if my shirt offends anybody. I'm against violence, and the word "shit's" in it, but this is one of my cousin's shirts that I believe in, and this coming on, and I am trying to see if I can see live comments. If I'm live. I can't tell. Um, let's see what's going on. Comment. Is there a comment section? I can't tell. I'm trying to test this out. I want to start doing more of these um, because I need to get back on my page more and do these. So hello, if you're commenting, hi. I can't tell if you are or not. I'm trying to look on here, see how can I tell people are commenting live on Facebook. It's been so long since I've done this. I feel like an old person. Like how do I do this? But welcome everybody. Hope everybody's having an interesting year already. We're 8 days into it, and it's already crazy talk. That's Messenger. That's the account. And well, we'll chat. Well, if you're talking to me, I'll just say hi to you. I got to figure this out at some point, but I'm already on right now, so I'll just talk to you. I like the engagement. That's what I'm trying to say. Where's the chat? That's something else. Hmm. I used to do lives all the time. I'm completely forgetting how to do them. That's my voice. You don't hear that. That's full screen. That's settings. I don't know, captions. So I used to go on live on YouTube all the time. I used to go on live on here. I don't know. It says live. So that's live. Oh, that's something else. Well, I just want to wait for myself. Get back to me. Back to me, James Lott Jr. Oh my goodness, Super Organizer. So everybody, I'm on here. So if you see me, hello. And it says I'm live. So I don't know what's going on. 21 new comments in the inbox. Let's see what maybe that'll show me something. So I've come on. Let's see. Why I'm having technical difficulties. I'm like, what's going on? Someone just asked me a question, I think. That's an old one. Oh wow. That's an old comment. God bless America. So I don't know how to see myself live. Oh, there I am. I can't see any comments. Okay, well, I can't see any comments. So I'll talk to you and see if there are comments later. I'll read them later. My friend, I want to come on here more. I got to research this more. I want to come on here more and do more of this. As I'm talking, it's 2021. I am going through. I'm probably gonna post this later on YouTube, so you can watch this later, also and comment there. I want to come on more and do more of these. This page is here. I've done hardly anything on this page in the last 6 months. The pandemic changed everything, and I was just kind of trying to figure. I almost left the business. I was trying to figure everything out. I mean that's simple. But now I'm re-energized. I'm deciding to stay in the business, but I'm modifying that business also at the same time. I have 2 pages, this one and the Super Organizer show, which will be back. I'm not ending that show. That show is going towards its 6th year. It is coming back January 11th. So next Monday mornings, I release a new episode. I'm not changing. I'm continuing doing that, and I'm working on that show. Over 300 episodes of that. I continue. And then I have a Twitter page for both of these, the Super O and the SOS_show. So I'm gonna try to do more that. I haven't decided I'm gonna do an Instagram page or not yet. So I haven't decided. Just there's so much to do. I mean, there's so much stuff. And that was mostly pictures, which I guess I could do one just to post pictures, I guess. I don't know. So we're thinking about it. We're thinking about it. But I have some topics that you see here. So I'm gonna come on here and talk about things every once in a while and engage on the page a little more. Engage on the page. I like that. I even try to do that. I'm going to talk about more things and just kind of and talk to you about some issues that are organizing related, things of that nature. And this one's about some groups that I was a part of that I'm not a part of anymore. And I talk about one of them in this coming episode of the show. So don't worry about that. That will happen. God, I wish I could see the comments. This is really crazy. I guess if I went on Facebook Live, just through Facebook, I'm going through Zoom right now doing this. So that's what's kind of weird. I can't see. But I wonder if I could see if I went straight there and did it. You know, this is life, folks. This is life in the big city, as they say. So I'll do a video and then, oh well, I guess we'll talk about. I don't know. Set for notifications. I wonder what that means. Let me see something for a second. Notifications. Oh, is my mother watching? Are you watching, Lita? Says you liked my video a few seconds ago. Are you watching me? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like an old person trying to figure this out. Oh well. Oh well. I don't know. So anyway, let me just get into it because I'll be talking like this for the next hour, going, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? That's not an exciting video at all. Okay, so I have my phone. So I want to do some little shout outs. I have some books that are kind of related to all this. This one's called You Can Overcome Anything. That's me in the corner. Cesar R. Espino and I think 15 of us other ones. Oh, you are watching me. I see a comment. Oh my goodness, I see a comment. Oh my goodness. This is a #1 bestseller. This is a international bestseller. We all tell stories about how we became something. My organized book that came out last year, Sort Out Sundays, Small Steps Lead to Large Rewards. This one is out. It's like $5, people. Go out and get it. Why is my mail on? Quit the mail. Quit the mail. This is a good book too. I give you tips, really easy tips. I have more books coming out this year that are organizing related. My friend Cesar and I did a series so far. Follow Our Leads, How We Became Entrepreneurs, and how we was like being entrepreneurs. Book 2, book 3 will be coming out this year sometime. These are very interesting. We tell you like it is. We tell you like it is. We don't bullshit you. There we go. I'm seeing the light behind her too. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. I'm a producer at the same time. I'm seeing lights. I'm like, what's going on? This is all crazy. So I'm going to go into one of the topics of this, and that is why I'm not part of certain groups anymore. The pandemic did a lot of eye-opening for myself and many others. We saw the true natures of people. The Black Lives Matter movement that happened last summer also opened my eyes to a lot of people. That was very eye-opening. I was in the middle of a bunch of online stuff. I did some speaking engagements and things, and I got hate and threats and all kinds of stuff sent to me openly. They didn't really care, and I was thick-skinned. I've been Black for 22 years, so I mean, I've not been Black before, but it was just interesting from certain people to see somebody I thought was my friend or somebody I was acquaintance with, really try to shut me down because I was Black. I was speaking out, or because I was male and an organizer speaking out. They did not like that. So it was a very eye-opening experience last year. So I had to reevaluate a lot of stuff. But one of the things that I was looking at for this year and everything was who am I associated with? Who you associate yourself with is very important, right? Who your friends are say a lot about you. And that's really, I do believe that. And who you have in your life. So my eyes are watering a little bit this morning because of allergies or whatever. And I just decided certain groups. I think I turned everything off and like everything's dinging. What's going on here? I was just like, I don't understand why people stay with certain people and things like that. So I decided to clean house, called Trim the Fat. And so there's certain groups that I left, some smaller groups that, oh my goodness. My phone has not dinged all morning, and all of a sudden I do a show and it's dinging. And I thought I turned it off. Okay, so anyway, there you go. So one group in particular that I'm going to talk about, and I have a caveat to this, that I'm not trying to just be salty for salty's sake or just like try to diss them. But I'm going to tell you my truth. I tell the truth, the shame the devil. That's what I do all the time. If you guys know me, you know it's exactly how I am. And how I really feel about this, I don't really care. So that's fine. But I just want to make sure I say that, because I'm not just doing this to be just like gossipy and oh my goodness. But it's a lesson. And I want to share this lesson with you. So I was part of the largest organizing group on Facebook, Professional Organizers Think Tank, POTT. When I first came on Facebook and became an organizer, well, actually I was on Facebook already. When I became an organizer, I found them. And it's a large group. And I was part of the group, literally. So last month I celebrated 11 years as a business, a super organizer. And this month I'm celebrating 12 years. I started organizing. So now I'm kind of a veteran in the business. I've been around a long time. And so the Professional Organizers Think Tank was nice to talk to other people. It's a large group. It was like great to talk to other people and see what they're talking about. And there was some useful stuff in there. After a while, which happens with many of us, when we just advance and we get more experience, the group was very much for beginners, I felt. It was very beginners group. So a lot of times there wasn't much for me to learn from them. I became kind of an expert on there. I would share information. I shared my shows on there, the Super Organizer show with Lott Jr. I shared that on there. I would listen, offer encouragement to some people. I made some friends from there. I really did. I'm still friends with to this day. The lead person who started the group, Lisa Kelly Woodruff, was somebody who early on in my super organizing career on the radio, when I first started on the radio, was an early supporter of mine. And I supported her when she was just kind of starting out. She is one of my most visited guests on that program. She thinks she's been on 6 times, 7 times. And her hard work, her tenacity, her ingenuity, her Sunday basket, all that I admired. I watched her. I literally watched her grow and change her and adjust her business. She's from Ohio, which is my Ohioans, and we became friends. And so we always support each other, going to other shows. Well, actually, I've never been on her show. I'm thinking about it now. I've never been on her podcast ever. But most of her podcasts were usually herself. I can't really be salty about that either. Most of them were her giving advice, but she has had guests on there, but not me. But she asked me during the whole Black Lives Matter stuff last year to come on and do a talk in the group. And I said, sure, of course. I was doing talks all over the place. And I know that I know how to articulate myself. I know how to express, and I was there to help. And I found it very admirable that this, white woman wanted to really look at race. But it was in context of business and the business, because she was getting attacked by the Black members of the group for not being diverse enough, or what various things she's being attacked for. And so I always have 2 thoughts when it comes to stuff like that. First of all, it's her group. It's not a group by the government or anything. Oh, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. I know you. Okay, so I can see comments now. Okay. Hi, Michelle from New Jersey. From Jersey. I love it. So it's her group. You can do whatever the F you want. It's your group. Not a place to tell you what to do. But also, if as a group member you have a right to ask, and if whatever you don't get, you have a right to leave. I like it at both sides. But if I start a page, you're not going to tell me what to do with my page. I always say, and this is my brother JR, My page is not a democracy, it's dictatorship. It's whatever I want it to be. So you don't have to like it. You can totally unlike it, but it's my page. And I know some of them started their own group page. They did go off and find their own group. They didn't find enough. Some stayed in both. They started their own page and they also stayed in the page. And some left. They didn't feel included, which is fine. But again, it's her page. She can have whatever she wants. That's kind of how that works. But she asked me to come on. I said, sure. And she was just like, let's talk honestly about that. I know it'll be uncomfortable for me. Lisa Kelly Woodruff is not a bad person. She's a white woman with privilege, from the Midwest, that's how she is. She can't apologize for that. Nothing to apologize for. Again, she's a hard worker. She employs a lot of people. She's a nice person. And so, but she wants to learn. And I was like, yes, I am in. Let's do this. I know how to do this. Let's work it out. And so we had to talk. I'm not gonna go into all the details. We had to talk. It was one of the craziest talks I've ever been involved in with the people who were watching. We did a Facebook Live, and I had some great support, some on there, but then some of the women on there were just like, and they were white women, of course, were screaming at me. And I did not, at first of all, I was a man, so they did not like that. If you want to hear more about that, go to the Super Organizer and the Professional Organizing Industry series on YouTube. I have like 12 episodes, very highly popular. I talk about what it's like to be a man in the industry. But yeah, they completely were like not happy that I was a man. Why did you get a black woman? And she explained, at least they explained, a lot of times you go with people you're comfortable with first. So it made sense to me. First of all, organizing is not a women's profession. I don't care that it's 95% women in the business or whatever. Men are in the business also, so get over it. It's not gender neutral. It's not this only women can organize. That's just ridiculous. I had a show on that too. It is a business where everyone needs organization and everyone can learn to organize. I'm a friend of hers, so she brought me on. And also, I'm an organizer. I don't care if I'm a man or not. I'm still black. I mean, I still can relate. And so and to me, she made it sound that the next steps would be to have more speakers, and chances are a black woman would be the next speaker. It was like attacking her. It's like you're kind of muting the point and watering down the point that we're talking about Black Lives Matter and the organizing industry and being black in the industry. Who cares if it's a man or a woman? That's just like semantics. Now you're trying to like dilute the story. Many of the women, the black women in the group, did praise me later and said, "Thank you so much for saying the things you said." And I made it clear in the talk that I'm not a woman. Female have different issues, but I'm a minority, so a minority is a minority is a minority. It doesn't matter, and they can relate to a lot of what I'm saying. A lot of things I was saying. I'm just telling what it's like to be black. Black men, black women go through some of the same things also. But I also acknowledge that I have male privilege. Being a male, there are things I get away with that women don't. So I acknowledge that also. I make sure I acknowledge all of that. It's like that's all part. I mean, I acknowledge that as part of that. But I was simply there as a friend of the leader of this group to tell my experience and to help talk her through. And I'm also a life coach to talk her through this. That was a difficult time. It was uncomfortable for her. She was very uncomfortable. We talked her through it, but I was very proud of her that she walked through it. We had this big video. She walked through it. And I felt like for those who didn't watch it live, it'll be very interesting for them to see this, that the leader of this group is being open. I thought this is a great beginning of something. I thought about having her on my show, and we're just going to do all this, kind of stuff during that time period, because it was very heavy and heated at the time. She thanked me. We got off. Then I think it was the next day or a few days later, I saw a comment, because the video stays up. I think the video stays up after this. It just stays up. And they're like, "Why is the video edited?" edited. And I went in and the video was edited. Not to make me look bad or anything like that. It wasn't edited. It wasn't like, this is not like Hollywood. It wasn't like that. It was just, it was edited. She took some things out that she was uncomfortable with. Mainly about her. Now I can't go stuff. It's been so long. This was like last summer, so I can't tell you exactly what she took out. But I remember being really hurt by that she did that, in the sense that this was a real learning experience and tool, and to show her vulnerability and openness actually may endear her to more people. I mean, and also may teach people who are like her. This is. I mean, this is what's going on. I think I sent her a message, and she decided that it's her, again, it's her page. And so it goes back to her page is not a democracy, it's dictatorship. She chose to have a different type of video on the page. So there you have it. I mean, I was really hurt by that. I thought, this is you should, and it made her look bad in the eyes of many people. And I thought that was the wrong move. For me, that's why I thought it was the wrong move. So, anywho, then she hired a couple of Black people in some positions, which is good. There's that. So I can't really be salty about that. Then she went on a show of my former boss, who was actually my boss at the time. I knew nothing about that. I thought, I was on her show also, Maria Menounos. And we're friends. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, so I just didn't tell. I just happened to turn on, and there she was. I was like, oh, you got on the show. It's a big deal for you, a national show. It's good. And we haven't spoken since. I've said a few nice things. I said a few nice things afterwards on her. She's very active on Instagram. No responses. And we never had a follow-up talk or anything about that experience or any follow-up work. And I just felt, I don't know, it left a little sour taste in my mouth. And the group, because part of the group really attacked me. These are regular members of this group, not just some fringe members that are in there from the group. I felt really unwelcome after that. So I don't stay where I'm not welcome. I wasn't there to fight. Again, it's not like some public thing that, the government or anything. It was like, I mean, I just felt like, and it was an easy decision. It took me a while. It took me several months to really think it through. And I said, I don't want to be part of a group that does stuff like this. And so I left. So after like 7 or 8 years, I'm not a member of professional organizing. People were asking me why I'm not on there anymore. And I'm like, I quit. I left it. And again, I said it was a little too pedestrian for me. So I don't need to. So if anybody's a beginner, it's a great place to go to. It's a great place to go to. Go there and you'll hear some people sharing stuff. And it's a huge group. So networking possibilities are there too. I liked NAPO better, which is also a separate thing. So NAPO and friend, they can't talk about NAPO on there at all. That was from Lisa herself. She's not part of NAPO. It's a separate thing. Which again, it's her page. I can't talk shit about that. It's a very separate thing for her. But people get mad about that. But I would tell people, well, it's her right to, again, after Defender, it's her right to not want that in there. NAPO is a separate association. She has her own products. And that goes into stuff like that, because I have my own products and things that I was starting to do my own classes. There's things that I'm starting to do that are I'm trying to sell myself and make my money. Why would she promote NAPO if she's trying to make money with her own classes or her own? I mean, I totally get it. She's trying to start her own thing. I totally get that. You have a separate thing. And okay, oh my goodness. It's like, oh, so everyone says, sorry, Marissa Serafini is texting me. I tell you, my phone, which I don't even know what my phone is. Oh, there's there. Okay, that's why I say it's good. Okay. It's like, anyway, everybody's texting me while I'm trying to do a show. Anyway. So, I mean, it's her page. So, and she's trying to sell product. And for me, I guess I have my own product. So I get it. I totally get that whole thing. But there are some NAPO members who are members of both. They're a member, again, because it's like a big networking opportunity on that page. But yeah, I'm not a member anymore. And I haven't talked to Lisa in a long time, and I hope she's doing well and everything. But I don't know, I just felt like, this industry is about people. It's all about people because you're in people's homes, touching people's stuff, people's emotions. It's all about people. It's not just about throwing stuff away. It's not just a business. I mean, it is a business, but it's a business of people. And I like being associated with people who value me as a person or as a black man or not a black man or whatever, but see me fully. Excuse me 1 second, let me get my drink. And same thing for them. I want to appreciate them if they're, I want to appreciate them fully. I don't want to not half appreciate them or anything. So I was like, okay, I'm out. And again, I wish her luck and I hope it all works out. People ask me about NAPO because on my show Monday, I talk about how I left NAPO after 6 years, almost 7 years. Again, it was evaluating. See, now with NAPO and with ICF, which is the International Coach Federation, it costs money to be a member. That's how it is. You have association, you become a member. Obviously the money situation dried up the first half of last year. Here in LA, everything shut down. There was no work anywhere. I couldn't do nothing. I had a few royalty checks for some stuff. It was brutal for like 4 months. Then I was blessed enough the second half of the year, they start opening up things again. We worked on it, me and a bunch of people in the industry worked on the precautions, COVID precautions. What can we do? What's safe enough? I set up guidelines and I got clients. I was very busy for the last 3 or 4 months. So that was a good thing. But again, not as busy though. I'm not going to save money that I was maybe a couple of years ago. So it's kind of like, okay, well, how can I make sure my money is being used, is being maximized? So everything's come for renewal for me. I'm part of certain groups that have low memberships. I'm part of the International Jugglers Association. I'm part of the International Notary Association, a National Notary Association. I'm part of a few other little groups. They don't cost a lot of money. It's like, their yearly memberships are not bad. I'm fine. Yes, I did say National Jugglers Association or International Juggler Association. Yes, I'm a juggler. But the ones that have larger memberships, I'm not so much upset about the pricing. It's just like, what am I getting? I had a situation happen with NAPO, which I talked about on one of my shows. I have no shame about talking about this either. Several years ago, where I was nominated for an award. I literally meet all the criteria except for one thing. Well, what is the specifics? But I was remanded from it. And I didn't even do anything. I'm just like, well, I got yelled at. And I was like, why am I getting yelled at? I wasn't specifically, it was like there's professional member, provisional member, some shit like that. Same pricing. Like I'm paying. But one is you're going for the classes, the courses, which are good. They're good courses and everything at NAPO, and getting education and stuff. I wasn't doing that because I didn't need it. I was literally kind of coming out of actual physical organizing and more into expert. I was doing speaking engagements, books. I was going to do more stuff like that. I was coming out of it. I got certified somewhere else years ago. I was like, I'm not looking for any more certifications in organizing. I was doing more life coaching stuff. I was doing get all my certifications in life coaching. I was doing more of that. So I was like, I'm paying the same price and I'm being told, so to speak, that I don't matter as much. It's my money. Now, I talked to the president at that time and told the situation, and she totally was like, apologize for whoever told me that and that kind of stuff. And like I said, all the presidents of NAPO have been wonderful to me. I love them all. They've been wonderful. So I stayed on. I renewed. I renewed again. They talked me to renew again for another couple of years. But again, with the COVID and thinking about my life and what am I getting out of it, and I was like, I'm not trying to take classes. I'm not trying to be on committees. I'm kind of like an affiliate member, so to speak, because I interview all the folks from NAPO. I love NAPO people, so I interview all of them. I love NAPO around the country. I'm always highlighting and spotlighting NAPO members. They're great. I love them. They're great. It's almost like a side attachment to it. My podcast, the Super Oraganizer Show with James Lott Jr., is not a NAPO podcast. They have their own, but it was, it was accepted by NAPO. They loved it. So, but I had no problem. But I had anybody on my shows. But I had a lot of NAPO members on my shows. I've had 7 presidents on there. So the association. So I love it. I love it so much. Gave advice to some of them. And I had some problems with them too during the Black Lives Matter stuff. some of the folks in there got on my nerves. That was kind of crazy. Saw some of the stuff. I had some great support too. I had some great support also. But it was kind of like, you know, if I'm going to pay $200 to $300 to $500 a year, what am I getting out of it? And it's one thing to support organizations. And now, if I was just rich and just making tons of money, then yeah, sure, I'll just do it just to have a thing. But if I'm really looking at every penny and looking at what's going on at the moment, I got to look at where my money is best spent. So it wasn't a personal thing; it was a professional thing. And we got to make decisions like that sometimes. And they're not easy. Again, it took me several months to come to that conclusion. I had actually got accepted to speak at a conference next year, national conference next year. My first time for the national. I've done regional ones and certain ones here and there speaking, but I got accepted, and everybody was excited. And I really heard from them. I told one person that I couldn't do it. I have to back down. I haven't heard from anybody else, so I don't know if they're mad or care or don't care. I mean, I have no idea. The conference is in a few months, but I heard from nobody. But I decided not to renew. As at this time, I decided not to renew. And again, it went silent. I have two people who contacted me, but nobody else has contacted me. No one said anything to me. It's been very silent. So I don't know what that means. It could mean nothing, but it's just because we're in a strange world these days. It could be just everybody's doing other stuff. But it's very interesting that I didn't hear from nobody. So now it's going to be interesting as I book guests for this year. I'm going to reach out to NAPO people at the same time. I'm going to reach out to them too, and we'll see how it goes. I'll know in the responses back to me what's going on, I guess. So it'll be very interesting because I still want to let them know. I still want to, let them know what's going on. So I want them on the show. I want to still spotlight them. There's some great folks in NAPO. I mean, seriously, I've made some really good friends. I'm going to give my shout out to Regina Lark, Ellen DeLapp, Ellen Fay. Susie Heyman. There's some great folks that are just wonderful. Sandra Lane, Vicky Delacula, my folks in Brazil, my folks in Mexico, Nacho, and all them. I've had some great folks that are so wonderful in that profession that I just admire so much. They're great people. So, that's how it is. So I'm not part of that group at the moment, but I still support them. I actually sent someone new to NAPO, and they're taking classes there. So I still send them there and do that. How long have I been on here? It doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me how long I've been on here. I think I've been on here almost an hour. So that must not be part of that group anymore. And ICF, same thing, costs money. I was a member for a while. I'm going to decide because I actually do life coaching. I'm actually looking into I have like 7 certifications in life coaching at this point, I think. So I'm looking into possibly rejoining and getting more involved in the life coaching world because I'm a life coach, and I'm gonna do some more stuff on life coaching too. Now, I have a life coaching page, A Lot of Help. I have a website, lottofhelp.com, so I'll work on that. So you can go over there and look at that. For the Super Organizer stuff, I'm going to work on more of. I'm going to try to get my website back up. I had a blog for years, and I stopped doing the blog. I don't have time to do a blog anymore. But I had a blog for 7 years. I was very popular, and I was sad I had to let that go. So you have to pick and choose what your life is like. Now I am writing a organizing series. I am organizing songs. I'm working on all kinds of stuff. I love organizing. At 12 years in, I still love it. Love very much. But for the topic of this discussion, groups, not a big group person anyway. I like being on my own and just like knowing people in groups. I was like that in high school. I was a group hopper, they called me. I used to go to all the groups. I was really in because I did that. So again, I got books. Go to Amazon.com, find my books. Find my books. They're out there. Just James Lott Jr. books. Type it in. Cesar Espino books. Type it in. The new episode, new season is January 11th. It'll be on every streaming service you can think of and YouTube at JLJ Media. I actually got the domain of JLJ Media on YouTube finally. I'm so happy. It used to be Super Organizer, ironically. I was thinking about this. I was going to start a page for the Super Organizer on YouTube. My life has changed in 12 years. Totally changed. And I have lots of shows on there, all kinds of stuff on there. So you go ahead and watch that. There's a Twitter page, the SOS_show, and the Super O. I know it sounds dirty, but that's just as far as we go. And that's it, kids. I guess I'm gonna just do that, but I'm gonna do more of these. I'm gonna start doing some more on all my pages. I'm gonna start engaging more, talking to you specifically what that page is for. Those of you guys who want to get organized, really think about it. Getting organized, it will seriously change your life. Getting systems smoother for you in your life. I see Michelle says her profession is not organization. Yes. I have a TikTok series called How to Get Super Organized Under a Minute. It's on TikTok at James Lott Jr. I'm James Lott Jr. everywhere else, of course. My Grogu's are sitting there if you're like a Star Wars fan. But I want to thank you for watching today. It's Friday. I don't know. I said my phone ringing off the hook. I can't even do a show for an hour. My phone's ringing off the hook. It's crazy. But everybody take care of yourselves and each other. Take care of it. I mean, really take care of yourself. Compassion for yourself and compassion for others. Look out for yourself. You are number one. A lot of people will not look out for you. You got to do it yourself. But so do it yourself and take care.